couple of years he's had just at the start of the day. Just before the game, Ricky, you were handing over to him Sir Garfield Sobers trophy, and there he's gone and done something wonderful again.
Yeah, certainly has. He's a very complete all-round cricketer these days, isn't he? Hasn't played a lot of T20 internationals. In fact, didn't play one single T20 international in 2023. That award that he received was for his one-day and test performances. He's had a really good run in the IPL this year, got a really good background coming into this tournament, I guess. Got a good amount of cricket under his belt. And I think you can see it in his bowling. His variations are a lot better. He's more consistent. He knows how to use his short balls and his changes of pace. We saw those hat-trick balls. Two of those hat-trick balls are actually cross-seam deliveries, and the third one was an off-cut, an off-spinner, with the appropriate field set as well, with fine leg up inside the circle when you're bowling the slow ball. He's a very, very good bowler. There's no doubt about that.
As is Adam Zampa, Lisa Staleka, an important cog in this wonderful bowling attack wheel.
Yeah, he's almost been the first selected for the Australian team when you think of T20 cricket, just because he performs so well. Second on the list for this T20 World Cup 11, and he's certainly not done. We've shown a number of times his consistency and the fact that he hones around that top of the off stump, has slight variations, not a lot, but he's consistent enough to trouble the batters, asking them to cut off the stumps or sweep across the line, and that's how he picks up majority of his wickets.
Yeah, wonderful control to his leggies, and 11 wickets is just about all the time in the wickets. So important, as I say, in this bowling attack, the Australian bowling attack, and somewhat starts it off, or if it doesn't start so well, brings it back for them.
Well, the other interesting thing there to note was that he was the only spinner in the top 5 or 6. So the rest of them are all fast bowlers. So that probably just adds a little bit more to the amount of good work that he's done for Australia so far. And you think about the conditions as well, I expected coming here that we'd see a lot more spinners up the top of the wicket-taking tally.
Yeah, for Bangladesh, Najmul Hussain Shanto is their skipper, and he seemed to have started to go quite nicely. Runs have been difficult to come by for the Bangladeshi batters. And the pitches they've played on, the grounds they've been at, have been difficult for all batters, and so it's meant that they've struggled as a batting group. 41 from 36. He seemed to be finding his touch, a man in need of runs, wanting to lead from the front, no doubt. And when he went, they probably lost 10 to 15 more runs they might have made had he stayed the course, or most of the rest of it. They must make do, though, with this 140 that they have on the board. Ridoy. Yeah, he came in and he liked that particular shot.
Yeah, if you look back through their batting innings, these two are the only one that showed any real intent. It was led by the skipper at the top. He tried to maximise the power play where he could. Heady, on the other hand, had to get himself in, had to soak up some balls early so they couldn't afford to lose any more wickets. And then was one over from Marcus Stoinis. He hit those two big sixes, one over mid-wicket and clipped one over deep backward square. That was what really got his innings going.
Yeah, look at the points table, and India with a win over Afghanistan have their 2 points. Very healthy net run rate as well. And the tussle here between Australia and Bangladesh. Heard from Adam Zampa. He said batters should be able to get past that 140, and should they do so, then they will join India as one of the two from the group. That's a look at the earlier game. 181 for 8. And Surya Kumar Yadav's 53 from 28. He just continues to deliver runs for India. 3 for 26 and 3 for 33. Rashid and Fazalak Faruqi. And then look at Bumrah. 3 for 7. He's an absolute magician, I tell you. And the others also in the wickets. Ashdeep with 3, Kuldeep and Akshar 134 all out. It's a big win, that, by 47 runs. So things going the right way if you're India. And everybody, no doubt, just having a look at each other to see who it is who will be the top 4. And once we're done here, top 2 here, top 2 the other side.
And they made that one change to their bowling attack, didn't they, as well, India? They went with the extra spinner in this game, Kuldeep Yadav, coming in at the expense of Mohammad Siraj. The benefit of having an informed Hardik Pandya in that side, he gives them so much more flexibility. Can be their third seamer along with Shivam Dubey, who can offer some medium pace as well. Then allows them to play Jadeja, Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav. That Indian team, I think, are ticking a lot of boxes right now. They're going to be really hard to beat as this tournament goes forward.
It's tough to call the 4, though, I'll say. You know, as we do, you sort of have a look and you see who's ticking boxes. You wonder if teams are peaking at the right time or peaking too early. And until you have those games, you never know. And even some of the time, Lisa, the teams in form don't necessarily win them.
Yeah, you're right. It's also, it's not how you go at the start, it's how you go at the end. And England is a prime example. Their last game against the West Indies, they look like they're ticking the right boxes and everyone's starting to kind of go in the right direction. Phil Salt's innings was amazing. And for them to peak at the right time, they are a danger side. And so is this Australian team as well.
It is, and I said 18 months, 2 years, Pat Cummins, and a reason for his side doing well is this man at the top of the order, whatever the format. It's been absolutely brilliant. 8 for 49, and the form is decent, and I would like for him to continue in that vein. He's selfless cricketer in the way that he bats. Certainly goes up at the top of the order to look to put it on the bowlers, and he alleviates pressure on David Warner, who's been an absolute champion for Australia for so many years and got some runs against England. Australia will be happy with that. They need a firing Warner as they go on in the tournament. And just like you say, Lees, not how you start. When the big games come, how you go then. They'll bank on him for sure.
Well, he's done it so many times before, hasn't he? As have a number of those Australians, a core group of players that have played a lot of cricket across all 3 formats. They know each other's game exceptionally well and feed off each other. That's what makes them so successful. Good news, the umpires are walking out.
Yep. Michael Gough from Hartlepool and supports Hartlepool United. Unbelievable, Jeff. And then Jeff Stelling. I don't know if you're football fans. Andrew Illingworth. All right, he's from Bradford. Not sure what team he supports in football. And I'm not talking Australian. Otherwise, you'd have been all over it, you two.
Yep, I would have jumped straight in then, but those team names you just mentioned went straight at the top of my head. But there'll be a good battle at the top of the order here. They've actually bowled really well in this tournament, Bangladesh, whether it be the use of their seamers or their spinners. England actually tried to open the bowling with off-spin, didn't they? That didn't come off. Owen Ali and Will Jacks both bowled in the power play. The Aussie left-handers got after both of those two. Of course, they've got Mahedi in the side today, Bangladesh, that could potentially bowl an over or 2 in this power play with the 2 left-handers being there.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Bangladesh if they're to have any chance at all, really, to strike very early, break this opening partnership, not allow Australia to get off to the fast start that they would be looking to get off to, as they generally try and do. And so you'd say a couple of wickets in the power play minimum. And wouldn't expect that if they stayed together for some time. Warner and Head would allow for the bowlers to just bowl at them. They'd certainly try something, try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Here's that opening pair, Travis Head and David Warner. Given that task once again of getting Australia off to a good start. That's what his tournament's been like. Strike rate nearly 150, and in a tournament where things have been difficult for batters, that's good. Happy with that. Have his head even higher, towards 160. So, yeah, things going okay for those two openers. And the bowling from Bangladesh has been pretty good through the tournament. Their bowlers have been very good. And it's Mehdi Hassan who will start things off spin to these lefties.
Yeah, Ricky, you mentioned about England bowling off spin to these two left-handers, and I think Moeen Ali's first over only went for 3, but it was Will Jacks again. So they're rolling the dice and hoping that maybe one might, skid through LBW opportunity, or one may grip and go to slip.
Warner reverses, second ball, and away it goes for 4. Won't allow the bowlers to just bowl at them. They'll make a play.
Yeah, that's a good call, Pommy. It's a gutsy shot, actually. This is off the stumps. That back leg forward and plays a reverse sweep. Bit of a top edge. But straight away, now that thought is in the bowler's mind. What do I do now? Where do I bowl? If I bowl that same delivery again, will he play that same shot? They've got a long off back, a deep square leg with a conventional sweep. Ball just might get a little bit wet as well, rolling across that outfield for the off spinner.
Great running. That's great running. Because that wasn't too far away from mid-wicket, but the line of it was just enough between mid-on and mid-wicket for the run to have to be judged well, and Warner did that.
And that's knowing your fielders as well, Pommy. That was Shakib at mid-wicket, so it was to his right hand, so he's non-preferred. They're the little things that the better players actually look at. They look at, identify where the better fielders are. Mid-wicket back now, deep square leg comes up inside the circle.
Inside edge, no run. Just looking to push it through the offside. Feeling for it a little bit. Travis Head perhaps also wondering whether it might spin or not. Yeah, played for a bit of spin and it went straight on.
Yeah, no turn so far. Pace has been quite good, 93, 94 kilometres an hour. He's not giving it any air at all so far. He has got a man back though at mid-off. If he wanted to take that risk, toss one up, the catching man is there for it.
It's well bowled. Followed him. Kept it nice and tight. First one, gone for 5 without loss.
सामान्य ज्ञान। तो बच्चों बताओ, यदि सोने का काम कराना है तो किसके पास जाना चाहिए?
सर 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 सर, सोनार के पास।
एकदम सही। और अगर इंटरनेट पर सर्च करना हो तो?
सर।
रोहन, तुम बताओ।
सर गूगल।
बिल्कुल सही। और अगर ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस खरीदना हो तो?
Visitors Coverage।
Visitorscoverage.com, the most trusted name for travel insurance.
सबको पता है।
Tanzim Hassan Shakib. It'll build on the good start. Oh! I reckon that might have carried, you know. The body language all around suggests it did as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that has carried. It's hit powerfully from Warner. It'll just dip on him late, but it definitely looked like it carried. Yeah, it did. In fact, it actually looked like it tailed away from him a fraction as well. Might have been what did him in the end. But if they're going to win this game, Bangladesh, they've got to be near perfect in the field.
It tightens up that line. That one just coming back as well. Can't afford to give that man, Travis Head, any width whatsoever.
Have a look at David Warner's scoring areas against the seamers in the power play. This is an area of his game that he has changed. Always been particularly strong, square of the wicket both sides, but have a look down to fine leg there. 58% of his runs coming from mid-wicket to fine leg on the leg side.
Shot muscled away through that offside. He loves the offside, Travis Head.
Yeah, this is one area that David Warner has actually changed and worked on. He's opened up his stance a lot to the faster bowlers. Probably identifying that they know how strong square of the wicket on the offside he is, so bowlers now will generally try and tuck him up. They go a little bit straighter. So to combat that, he opens up his front leg now, and he started to develop a shot where he almost gets down underneath the bounce of the ball and scoops it down to backward square and fine leg.
That's gone straight up in the air, but that wind will just take it out of that 30-yard circle. And the strength of it, so often you see when the ball goes up just like that, you think it's a little breeze, and then this happens and it gets away from you.
Yeah, it was probably, 10 metres away from the boundary. And certainly when he hit it, you thought it was just going straight up in the air, but it just kept going where those arrows are going across the screen.
And that one shot's forced to change in the field straight away. Slip now comes out to a mid-wicket. Pace, good carry. It's skipping through 143 kilometres an hour. We talk about partnerships all the time, don't we, in this game? And I think one of the reasons that these two have had a lot of success together is because they score at different areas on the ground. We talked about David Warner, 58% of his runs from mid-wicket to fine leg. Well, Travis Head is almost the exact opposite of that. He tends to stay more leg side of the ball, wanting to free his arms up, wanting to hit over mid-off and through the covers.
Shot. Short, yes, took the pace off, but there was width, and he jumped all over that. 4 runs to end the second. It's 14 without loss.
This is an area you do not want to bowl to Travis Head. We just showed the graphic of where he likes to score majority of the runs, and it's in that region. Because he stays very leg side of the ball, anything wide of off stump is cuttable for him, and he hits it with so much power.
Mahedi for his second one. Whilst in the first over they might have been having a look, even with that reverse from Warner, which would have been to put pressure on Mahedi, this time they'll expect themselves to get him away because they've had a look. There you go, banged away. And wind or not, he's hitting against it then, and it's still cut through it all the way over the boundary for 6.
That's a beautiful strike that from David Warner. That was the one fear I had with Mahedi bowling this second over. When the first over didn't spin, the fear of the left-hander hitting across the line is not there as much. Very full, to right in the middle of the bat and gone a long way back over mid-wicket. He's got to drag the length back now. He's got to force Warner to hit him off the back foot.
Yeah, and the margin very slight. And Warner will be very aware and probably waiting for that back foot shot. So much pressure in this power play for a spinner once whatever the weapon is that you have is taken away. And to slide it on here.
Well, that last delivery is probably one that he may need to turn to against the left-handers, the arm ball that just slides on in. We see that with left-arm spinners. They tend to do that to right-handed batters. Mahedi can absolutely do the same thing, really cramp them up.
Oh, that's well bowled. The field is deep mid-wicket and long on. And so that's why Travis Head's going to the leg side, open the offside up. He just needs to get a little bit of bat on it. And the bowler's done really well following. And that's quite lucky for Travis Head. It doesn't go back onto the stumps. Oh, so close to off stump.
Yeah, hard shot to play when there's no spin. If there's just a little bit of spin, that shot becomes a whole lot easier. When the ball's sliding on, Travis Head will be better suited trying to hit that as straight as he can.
Right there, Davey.
He's done well to come out of the over with just 7 off there. 21 without loss.
Let's begin.
Why am I always the one doing the bookings?
Girls trip, here we come.
No one to talk to on any of these sites.
Wait, what's CheapoAir? Ah, a phone number.
With CheapoAir, get great travel deals anytime, anywhere.
Food is so much more than food. I love being able to celebrate my culture, my food, and stories with my friends and, of course, my kids. No thali is complete without dahi, and the desi natural dahi is exactly that, natural, just like my mom would make it.
Well, Tuscan Ahmed, almost really the leader of the attack. Chandika Patrasinghe, who's the head coach of Bangladesh, has spoken about the young man being given that opportunity, and he's picked up a lot of wickets within the power play. Bangladesh still searching for their first wicket.
Yeah, good pace. Always has had good pace as Taskin. First ball there's 140 kilometres an hour. Bowling from the Sir Andy Roberts end.
That was hit hard. Very hard. Too hard for mid-on, who had a couple of yards to go to his right. But it was through for 4.
He won't be disappointed with the ball. Just slightly back the length, outside the line of off stump. But even that, to me, that says where Warner's thinking straight away. That's a ball that normally, if you're thinking really clearly and not premeditating, you're whacking through the covers. He's thinking about that short boundary leg side. He's thinking about hitting with the breeze. Clip comes out, goes into a mid-wicket.
Tucking him up, making sure he's got no room whatsoever, and as does so well, just tucks it away for a single. Has started well here, Warner. 18 from 11.
See him practicing that shot coming on the inside. That's the old David Warner, the one that gets tucked up and sometimes has had the leading edge that balloons out and gets caught. But obviously in T20 cricket, it's almost like he's a left-handed version of Surya Kumar Yadav. Comes in on the inside and gets it over fine leg.
Oh, wow. That is crunched. It's a decent length, you know. But Travis Head throws the bat at it and it flies away for 4.
He hits the ball deceptively hard. It's not a big backlift or a big swing of the bat. See there, he keeps his hands in nice and tight, nice and close to his body. Doesn't have a big backlift. He's got quite a flat pickup of the bat with the acceleration down and into and through the ball. He's first class. I think you said it. Crunched. He crunches the ball.
And 9 off this over already. So going really well, our Australia, and trying to get to at 141. And Bangladesh, well, they're desperate to get a first one here. Said before they went out, probably need a couple of wickets in this power play, because if Australia gets away in the first 6 overs, then it's going to be tough to defend that 140. Wow! Oh, what a shot! Try to change it up. Well, it's disappeared. 6 runs, 4 gone. It's 36 without loss.
Running a business takes everything you have, and there's no such thing as off the clock. No one else can do what you do. Funding from Biz2 Credit makes it possible. We know your drive. We know your determination. Biz2 Credit. Funding what's next.
Act the positive energy to achieve good health, happiness, success, and prosperity. When planetary movements are in your favor, you are unstoppable in achieving your dreams. Listen to your destiny and open the door to prosperity. Call me today for an amazing tomorrow.
Some show game off the game through this T20 World Cup. Return to one of theirs, Bangladesh. Mr. Fizur Rahman. Desperation stakes somewhat. A small total to try and defend, and a pitch here which we thought was quite good when Bangladesh were going, lost a wicket early, and then it seemed to come onto the bat quite nicely, and a partnership was had.
Yeah, that ball looks a bit beaten up, really. Just when you get the ball hit that hard and there's nice concrete or stone walls, and I reckon it's ricocheted and taken a huge chunk. That's why. Change the balls, please.
Change your ball, change your luck, some will say.
I didn't like that change of angle. As soon as I saw Taspin come around the wicket, I thought this is going over mid-on on mid-wicket. Just the angle into Travis Head. That's why it becomes so difficult to bowl to. So strong when you get just outside his off stump with the angle going across him. He's so good square of the wicket. Then you change the angle up and angle back in, and he's got that shot in the locker as well.
Yeah, and some of the time you're changing for the sake of changing, and you end up fighting the elements, aren't you? We continually speak about this wind, this breeze, and how stiff it is. And you don't want to be making it easier for the batters to be playing in that direction. And like you say, that angle says, well, you know, they can take a chance, and if they go in that direction, number one, you've got just one fielder on that side, so not bound to get it to that fielder unless it's your lucky day. Here's the fizz. Oopsie. Can't afford that.
He's a very experienced campaigner, Mustafiza. Been around a long time, played some excellent cricket, whether it be for Bangladesh or franchise cricket all around the world. He needs better backup and support than that from his fielders. Keep the man there at cover. Also with his angle, he's going to be coming into Travis Head. But everyone up on the offside.
Nicely nudged. And you're sort of better off into him.
This was the point I was trying to make with David Warner and Travis. Have a look at that ball there. Two very similar deliveries. He's gone back and flat batted that one through mid-on. Look at this. Very similar delivery. Travis Head stays leg side of the ball. Tries to open up that offside field to thump it through the covers or wide mid-off. That's why they work well together. The bowlers have got to always be changing up.
Supple wrists, difficult to pick it off Mustafiza when he takes the pace off.
Just to add to that, Ricky, as well, you know, lots of discussions have been, oh, you have to have a right and left hand combination opening the batting, but when you've got two guys batting the same way but play it differently, they can be just as effective, and these two are prime examples.
Oh, bowled. Lovely. Yeah, change up that time in terms of pace and the direction also. On about it, doesn't he? Room outside off for him, and cramped this time.
And he's unusual the way that he plays that. You can see there, because he's trying to give himself room outside leg stump, he ends up getting cramped up. The one defensive plan the bowlers have got, especially with a fine leg and a deep square.
Short. Slower delivery, and it's in the slot. When it's up, he'll certainly dispatch it. 6 runs to Travis Head.
That's a classic example of the bowler outthinking himself. Why do that after the ball before works so well? Why do you need to change it up? You've got protection at deep square and fine leg. Why give a step hit that can go straight back over your head for 6? Might be having another look at this ball as well. That one might have gone into the brickwork. But they're up and away here, the Australians. Pressure straight back on Mustafiza as well.
Yeah, it's just the start they wanted, the Australians. Gets it away offside. Just gives himself room, expectant with regard to that short delivery, and this time in position. 4 runs. That one's gone for 13. It's 49 without loss after 5. Lovely shot. And makes sure that is inside. And is waiting for that to come in at him, expecting him to go back to it after being hit over his head.
Fans having a ball here, the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, not just on the cricket field too. Get me one of those, please. Rock and rolling. Speaking of rock and rolling, the dynamic duo, the 2 lefties for Australia, Warner and Head, rattling along here, almost team 50 up in 5. We wanted to go at 7s. 140 and Both these players are enjoying that company again. 50 up now for Australia. Very good batting conditions. Ali Khan alongside Matty Hayden, who's got a big smile on the dial. Haven't you, Haydos? And a learned friend after Ali Khan saying, well, what could have been? They've just got a partnership earlier. He's hungry. He's still hungry as ever inside a power play. Never stop. Have his head. Or wondering. You reckon? Hey, is this a bit of you?
It's a bit of Ed and Warner just grabbing the bull by the horns, so to speak. None for 51. The youngsters had enough. That looks a lot of fun. Hey, there you go, Danny. That's how you jump on most things.
Not with that sort of hairdo, though. So, yes. Called Hop Along. Australians.
Still fresh. You're still fresh, Danny. Okay, cricket. What do you think, Matt?
Well, just proving a point that we discussed earlier on when Bangladesh were batting, because I felt right from the word go, this was a good batting surface. And if you don't create chances, and when you do create chances, and if you cannot hold on to the catches, then they will hurt you. They've raced over to 52 in no time. So important to create chance, opportunities, and when it comes, you better be ready to grab it, because it was the catch that went to Ridoy. Or I think it was from the bowling of Tanzit Hassan Saqib, the right seamer. Could have changed things differently in favor of Bangladesh, because such a good surface. But you wanted to pick up early wickets here, because I still felt that it was maybe 20-30 runs short when they batted on the surface.
Yeah, colleagues were saying at the time, you have to be perfect in the field with Bangladesh, take every half chance on offer, let alone the one that was put down by Ridoy. He was at point there. Oh dear. Too short, too often. You're going to get pumped every night of the week. Power play done. 59 without loss, the Aussies.
This is Christina. Christina is tired and really needs a family vacation. Luckily, with Cheapo Air, she can book her flights online or just call day or night, especially when her kids are asleep. With Cheapo Air, book fast, affordable, and last-minute trips.
Purity in our heart, quality in your gut. For 50 years, Lakshmi hai na.
And then you go to the shorter versions of the game. Denson, there he is again, just owning it. Owning it with Travis Head. Once again in these 6 overs, just really taking charge, just like they did actually against England. You know, that was a almost perfect scenario. In a big game, they stood up, kept on scoring quickly. Very selfless players, the pair of them. They're making a great fist of this opening partnership.
Yeah, spot on. Matty Hayden, think back to when he started. Really played any first-class cricket, had he? And suddenly he was there because of white ball. Well, here's the new challenge.